The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
There was a rabbi, Rabbi Mentz, who he was a rabbi in a certain neighborhood. Gets a phone call right before Shabbat, the Pesach, and there's a fellow who says, I need a place to stay. Could you put me up for the Seders? Anyway, he says, of course, the guy can stay with me. He can have the Seders with us. The guy pulls up before the holiday. He pulls up not in an Uber. He pulls up in a motorcycle, long hair. He walks in the house. The guy stinks to high heavens. The rabbi says to him in as nice a way as he can, he says, please, dachilak. He said, here's a towel. I see you've been on the road. Why don't you freshen up and get ready for the holiday? Anyway, the guy takes a shower. Rabbi goes to shul. As he comes back from shul, standing outside the house is his wife. And his wife says to him, listen, the guy you brought home, he's a drug addict. The guy has all his drugs out in the room. We went to bring him something before and I can't believe who you brought in the house. We can't have him, you gotta throw him out. The rabbi says, throw him out. It says, kol dechfin, anyone who's hungry, let him come eat. Anyone who needs, yetevi yifsach. Kol means everybody, it doesn't mean somebody. It doesn't mean some people, every Yehud. This guy's a Jewish guy, heaven's angels instead of the other place. I can't tell him no. So she says, okay, all right. He says, if that's the case, but you have to stay up the whole night of Pesach, all night to make sure that we're okay. Rabbi says, fair dues. Tells his wife, all right. I'll stay up, no problem. Anyway, as he comes home from shul, he sees the guy freshly showered, Baruch Hashem, doesn't smell as much anymore. Right? And he says to him, what are those? He points at the guy's, all the drugs that he's got sitting out there on the table in the guest room. He says, I take those to relax. So the guy says to me, listen, Dachilak, please, do me a favor. He says, we've been slaving over this house to make sure that everything here in the house, is kasher lePesach. Now, I'm no expert. I don't know what your dealer is cutting your heroin with, I don't know if there's any 11th product in there. I'm not sure if that's cocaine or flour, right? So I'm not, please, Dachili goes, please do me a favor. He says, could you take all your goods and lock it into your boat, in the seat of your motorcycle for the duration of the holidays so that we have no products in our house that maybe might be chametz? Could you do me a favor? The guy says, sure, Rabbi. Whatever you say, no problem. I'm your guest, of course. He takes all the goods, locks in his motorcycle for the holiday, and the house is kasher lePesach. Of course, now he's much less nervous about the fact that he's got the guy in his house because he doesn't have his stash with him. Anyway, first night of the Seder, the guy is asking every question. He's getting involved. He's eating the food of the Seder. He can't believe it. What's this? What's that? How come this? How come that? And the rabbi is giving divrei Torah. They're there practically the whole night. The guy had the best Seder night of his life. All right. He goes to sleep at the end of the Seder. Next morning, Rabbi wakes up, goes to shul. Hada sleeps in, not just in the morning, not just through the afternoon. He sleeps almost all the way till the evening again. The whole day. He's up all night, slept all day. Okay. Comes time that wakes up the guy. He says, what are we doing now? He says, remember what we did last night? All over again. Again, the second Seder. Again with the questions. Again, he had such a wonderful time. At the end of the Seder, guy gathers his stuff. End of the holiday, guy gathers his stuff, thanks to Rabbi and his wife, and he gets on the road. Rabbi never sees him again. Sends him off into the night, having had at least once in his life a beautiful Seder Pesach where he fulfilled all of his obligations. Okay? Maybe 10 or 15 years go by, he's walking down the street and a fellow stops him in the middle of the street with the peot, with the beard. The guy looks like a rabbi. And he says, Rabbi, how you doing? It's so nice to see you. The guy looks at him, he says, do I know who you are? He says, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? You're responsible for who I am. You remember many years ago, this fellow turned up with long hair, with his drug stash to your house. for the night of the Seder, you didn't turn him away. He said, that was me. He goes, today, not only am I a religious man, he says, but I'm a sofer. Right? I'm a sofer. I write Sifrei Torah, I write Tefillin, I write Mezuzot. My friends, you understand the power of that turnaround. He went from a person that didn't know anything to a person who's sharing the Kiddusha of Torah himself.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org